It's 1816, and a group of free-living young poets, philosophers, and artists has gathered at Lake Geneva in Switzerland for a summer of sailing, writing, and late-night conversations. With steady rain forcing them to stay inside on many days, they entertain themselves by telling spooky old German stories. This inspires one of them, George Gordon, aka Lord Byron, to propose a contest in which each of them will create a ghost story. While Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and others scribble down their thoughts, Shelley's lover and future wife, Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin, has a case of writer's block and struggles to pen an idea. When she does, though, it's a riveting one. She writes a story titled Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, about a young scientist who reanimates life with disturbing consequences. After Percy Shelley's first wife commits suicide, Mary weds the love of her life, but he drowns just a few years later. Years later, she reflects on her life as the daughter of an ardent feminist and a radical philosopher, as the wife and friend of other 19th century social and political radicals, and as the mother of 4 children, only one of whom lived into adulthood. Mary Shelley poses for a painting by renowned portrait artist Richard Rothwell, contemplating the trials and tragedies of her life. Like countless other readers since Frankenstein first was published in 1818, Slightly Askew Theater Ensemble members Rachel TIBBETTS and ELLIE SCHWETYE are avid fans of Mary Shelley's classic Gothic novel. They took their idea from Mary Shelley Monster Show to SCHWETYE's Clayton High School English teacher, Nick OTTEN, who adapted and expanded it into a 75-minute, one-act drama that received its world premiere by SATE in 2014. Recently remounted as a production that can be adapted for touring purposes, Mary Shelley Monster Show remains riveting and thought-provoking, a richly textured and thematically ideal work to kick off SATE's 10th anniversary season of adaptation. There is minimal action in OTTEN's complex and carefully structured piece. It is doubtless, though, that it will appeal to fans of classic literature as well as anyone who welcomes challenging ideas and intricate plot development. The drama features just 3 performers. TIBBETTS is Mary Shelley, SCHWETYE is a wide variety of people important in Mary's life as well as the monster itself, and Carl Overley Jr. is Irish artist Rothwell, who speaks from off stage as he compliments, coaxes, and convinces Mary to pose for her most famous portrait. David Blake has fashioned an intriguing set design that incorporates shards of wooden panels with windows at which appear portraits of Percy Shelley, Lord Byron, Mary's stepsister Claire Clairmont, Byron's pal Dr. John William Polidori, Mary's parents William Godwin and Mary Wollstonecraft, and others. Bess Moynihan's perceptive lighting accentuates scenes in which the monster, in veiled appearance, debates its literary creator, Mary, on deep philosophical topics. SCHWETYE contributes the chilling sound design, and Michael Perkins adds some atmospheric video to enhance the overall effect of the production, updating it a bit this time around to include famous depictions of the monsters, such as Boris Karloff's portrayal in 1930s horror flicks. Elizabeth Henning designed the costumes, which range from the tasteful elegance of Mary's wardrobe to the tatters that clothe the monster. TIBBETTS portrays Mary mostly as an idealistic dreamer, not necessarily the prolific writer whose body of work has been championed only in the last half-century. In her interpretation, Mary's tentative glimpses at her portrait hint at the fragility of her own life, which was plagued by the deaths of so many of her family and close circle of friends. It also, though, shows where Mary's literary inspiration may have emanated, as well as her lifelong devotion to the liberal principles espoused by her parents and husband, as well as herself. The audience is left to decide whether Frankenstein was actually a thinly veiled autobiography, and who the real monsters were in Mary's rather sad life. SCHWETYE is convincing in a number of supporting roles, as the self-centered Percy Shelley, the innocuous Claire, and others, but especially engaging as the monster who questions his origins. Is he a representation of Percy Shelley, or Byron, or even Mary herself? Or is he simply Victor Frankenstein's ill-fated experiment? OTTEN's script is cohesive and convincing, made all the more appealing by dramaturg Kelly Weber's disciplined and nuanced co-direction with Kristen Ryan that tightly ties the dialogue and technical elements of the show together.
Yeah, I found it very helpful to have the portraits of the various characters that ELLIE SCHWETYE was playing on screen as she was playing them, in addition to having her costume changed when she was a different character, just slightly. But that really helped helped me keep things straight.
You know, it's a very well done idea, and it just shows how the story of Frankenstein continues to inspire people even in the 21st century.
Hey, thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe and check us out on Facebook. The link is below.